become what you want to achieve. I think I learned this concept. Luke Belmar particularly, I think in a video in one of his data sets was why you are unhappy. I think in a recent video I've mentioned about it's all about control over the input rather than the output. But also I think he mentioned about, again, it's about the journey of who you are becoming in order to achieve what you have set out in your mind. Which is a similar concept to you want uphill results with downhill habits. Because I talked with this particularly with another friend. I said to him, actually two of them, really. The other, actually I'll discuss the first one. He was saying how it's not so much, again, like most of us young guys, we probably want to be millionaires, like eventually in our lifetime, like $1 million sitting in the bank. But it's not so much about the $1 million that we acquire, it's the person we had to change and become to have that $1 million in the bank. Because currently right now, reflecting upon ourselves, we're probably not going to be the people who are going to have $1 million in the bank. We're going to have to change. Whether it's learning a new skill, developing and cultivating new habits, like all that, in order to achieve that outcome. And like Luke says, we cannot control the outcome. We can only control the input. So what we can control is the person we are, like mentally change our identity. So if you, but don't be in delusion. That's sort of the, not trap, it's sort of what path you can go down is say to yourself, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire. Rather than saying that you're a millionaire, even though you don't have $1 million in the bank. Sure, you can say I'm a future millionaire, sure, but it's better to act and speak through your actions. What actions would a millionaire do? It's even that, I think a Mormon concept. Was it a Mormon concept or a Jehovah's Witness concept? I can't remember. They have a concept where, what would Jesus do? Literally, like, whatever he would do. Whatever he would do in that situation, you just do. So thinking like a millionaire, what would you do? Well, learn a high income skill. Yeah, learn a high income skill. Continually learning. Perhaps meditating. I know a couple of, like even Steve Jobs, he emphasized the importance of meditating for him to reflect and be present in the moment and be conscientious about his thoughts that flow throughout the whole day. Then who else? Or what else? Like, though, success leaves clues. Rather than trying to emphasize on the end result, try and emphasize on the person you must become. Oh, that's right. In a podcast video, I think, okay, I forget the name of the show. It's like, not Mahmoud. Oh, it's like Muhammad Ahmad, I think. He did a couple of interviews with Andrew Tate. The recent one with Luke Bell and Jordan Welsh, he's like an e-com guy, but he's currently having a YouTube channel where he interviews a bunch of millionaires, which is fantastic content because you just get so much value out of just him interviewing millionaires. But in his recentmost podcast, I think Luke was saying to Muhammad, I think that's it. If I'm wrong, that's not his first name. I apologize, but he was saying there's more value in the person you become rather than the end result. And also that makes me think about Alex Hormozzi's concept, or the concept he takes from Simon Sinek about game theory, about infinite games. There's a finite game where there's a difference between infinite games and finite games, where in a finite game there's a certain definition of rules, there's known players, known sets, like known resources, all that. And the point of it is to win within those boundaries and restrictions. And then in an infinite game, there's an infinite number of unknown players, there's an infinite number of resources. And there's no rules basically. Like, he compares it to, you don't win at going to the gym, or you don't win at health. You just simply keep being healthy. You don't win at marriage. You simply keep the marriage going, keep it running. Like those kind of games. So the same thing could be with self-improvement. You do not win at self-improvement. You simply continue being on the path of continually developing on yourself. So that's how you like win the game without actually winning game over. Like, there is no game over. We have to realize that. Like, there's no end point. I was going to say the end point is the journey. Like, it will continue forever. So there's no point in stopping when the game is infinite. So if you have an idea of what you want to achieve and the outcomes you want in your life, you simply have to think, what do I have to cultivate? What actions must I take? What habits, what daily habits, because particularly daily habits, must I cultivate in order to increase the probabilities of those outcomes occurring? And why I say daily, I'll probably make another video about, again, like these concepts of self-improvement, just like all over the place, which I find fantastic, is compounding, the compound effect. Basically, growth adds on to each other. So if you do something for every day, most likely or not, it's going to compound. Whether it is, for me, recording a video every day, or writing every day so you improve your skill to write, or even going on sales calls every day, prospecting every day, working out every day, like any of those good, meditating every day, any of those good habits you do every day, they will compound and build over time. So eventually, you have an increased likelihood of it getting what you want. But then eventually, I think I'll get there eventually where I do have that $1 million in the bank account, or I do have that financial freedom, that location freedom, that time freedom. Then realizing and going, I value more the fact that I have changed as a person, that I have improved as a person, rather than the things that I can tangibly hold. Because some part of me goes, I might get that Porsche 911, or I might get that big house, but it doesn't really change me. What changes me will be my self-development, my self-improvement, my continuous learning from others and from life itself, that will get me the most satisfaction. So if you want to achieve something, simply ask yourself what person I must become to achieve that, and then value your growth, or even the delta, using like physics, the change between who you are as a person right now and who you must become. Because trust me, you will have to change. Because if you being you right now already got you your result, you wouldn't be desiring your result, because you would already have it. But I hope this video helps.